Warning, this book review contains the F word. Let's get real. Traditional self-improvement books always emphasize that you need to visualize success and think about the person that you want to be. But this only reinforces the idea that you are not that. This book has a different perspective on success. Everyone wants you to believe that the secret to a good life is a better job, a nicer house or car, or a prettier girlfriend. This is what society has manipulated us to believe. In reality, the key to a good life is not giving a fuck about more stuff, it's giving a fuck about less stuff. Giving a fuck about only what is true, immediate, and important. Only you can define what's important to you. So think deeply on the subject and decide on the things you really care about. To everything else you can say, fuck it, I don't care about this, so I'm not gonna worry, stress, or waste any time on it. We are no longer facing a material crisis. We have so much crap, electronics, clothes, and goods that we don't even need. The problem we have today is we have so much stuff, so many opportunities, that we do not know what to care about anymore. Everything worthwhile in life is won through overcoming negative experiences. If you stop giving a fuck about the pain that your goals require, then you will become unstoppable. The times where you just stop giving a fuck and take immediate action are the moments that define your course of life. You and everyone you know is going to die someday. In your short life, you only have a certain amount of fucks to give. Only give a fuck about the important stuff. Focus. Learning how to focus and prioritize your thoughts effectively based on your deep values is the greatest and most important struggle of life. There are 3 factors of not giving a fuck that you need to understand. Number 1, not giving a fuck isn't about being indifferent. It's about being comfortable with being different. Don't say fuck it to everything in life, just do the unimportant things. Number 2, to stop giving a fuck about adversity and difficulties, you must first start caring about something more important than adversity and difficulties. Number 3, whether you realize it or not, you are always choosing what to give a fuck about. The key is to gradually preserve the things you really do care about, so you only give a fuck on the most important occasions. Next, you need to have some perspective. When a person has no problems, the mind automatically thinks of ways to invent them. I think what most people, especially pampered Americans, consider life problems are really just side effects of not having anything more important to worry about. We need to have some perspective. If you're in the middle class and live in America, your life is better than billions of other people's. If you think your life is bad, think about the person ranked 7 billion in the world and then try to complain about your life. Have some perspective. Most of your problems are not even real problems. So don't let these problems distract you and don't let them be reasons that you aren't happy. Finding something important and meaningful in your life is perhaps the most productive use of time and energy. Sometimes things will suck, and that's okay. It's necessary to know that some suffering is unavoidable, but you also need to understand that there is no value in suffering when it's done without purpose. Therefore, if you're going to suffer one day, maybe even right now, let it be for something that is important to you. You should not hope for a life with no problems. You should hope for a life with good problems, because the reality of life is problems will never stop. Even the most optimistic people understand this. Problems are merely exchanged or upgraded. The great thing is, having problems is an important factor to reaching happiness. Happiness is found in solving problems, not avoiding them. Taking those problems and excuses head on is what's actually going to give you joy in your life. Humans are fulfilled when we are growing and improving, and the only way to do this is to take problems head on. What does this mean? It means true happiness is found when you find the problems you enjoy having and enjoy solving. Think Elon Musk with SpaceX or Bill Gates with Microsoft. They intentionally chase problems that haven't been solved because it fulfills them. Happiness is actually wanting the problems you have and wanting to solve them. Find problems you enjoy solving and work on solutions to them every day. Do not let your emotions control you. Although emotions typically try to push you in the direction of beneficial change, they are not always right. You should always question your emotions. Do not feel bad about things that you don't truly care about. There's no reason to be upset about unimportant things. Emotions can be beneficial and motivating, but they can also tear you down for no reason. So don't let them control you. Use them to your advantage when you can. Remember, if you feel like it is you against the world, in reality it's just you against yourself. We need to develop a new view of life. Don't ask yourself what you want out of life. It's too easy to say you want success and fame and money, happiness, a hot wife, and great sex. Everybody wants those things. A much more compelling question to ask yourself is, what kind of pain do I want? What we are willing to struggle for is a greater determinant of how our lives turn out. Think about it like this. You can't just be in love with the result. Everybody loves the result. You must be in love with the process. The process is where the bulk of your time is spent. If you don't love overcoming the obstacles of the process, you cannot be successful. The climb to success is no easy peak. It's a never-ending upward climb with new problems constantly surfacing and new processes you have to fall in love with. You aren't allowed to stop climbing, to take breaks, because the entire point is to love the climb. If you ever stop loving the climb, the results will not come. We must be willing to go through pain and suffering sometimes, because that's what it takes to reach the things that are truly important in our lives. We must be willing and excited to face our problems head on, because this is how we will learn, grow, and develop, which are the roots of our happiness. And finally, we must be willing to say fuck it to the shit we don't care about. Be comfortable with being different and only use our time and energy on things that matter.